Red Wings fans, welcome to this training camp preview presented by Huntington Bank. I'm Carley Johnston, joined by the wonderful Art Regner.
Well, thank you there, Carley. I appreciate that.
We just wrapped Prospects Camp, so we're going to get a little bit of a preview of main camp. A lot of excitement surrounding training camp here at Center Ice Arena in Traverse City. As always, it's been an absolute blast to be up here and see all the fellas back in Traverse City after a year off due to COVID. But I do want to talk about main camp and who you are most excited to see, Art.
Well, I really think it's going to sound weird, and as eager as I am to see all the prospects, and competition is the main word at this coming training camp, and I think for the foreseeable future with the way Detroit has drafted and some of the moves that Steve Yzerman has made. But I really am eager to see Dylan Larkin and Tyler Bertuzzi because they're coming off very serious injuries. Dylan with his neck and Bertuzzi with his back. I just want to see how they ease back into it. And because they're both very, very important. Obviously, Dylan, the captain, and we saw what happened when Bertuzzi went out and only played 8 games last year. Right. How difficult it was for the Red Wings to get any kind of offensive momentum going.
Absolutely. Well, I'm going to go kind of on the opposite end of the ice, I guess. I'm going to go between the pipes with Alex Nedeljkovic. He was a Calder Trophy finalist with a .932 save percentage. So I'm really excited to see what he and Thomas Greiss and that goaltending tandem can do. But I also kind of want to talk about a bit of a returner, someone who wasn't at training camp last year due to being in Europe, but was the previous year, Moritz Seider. I mean, come on. There's so much potential there. And he actually was voted best defenseman in the SHL. So we know he's developed since we've seen him last. So I'm really excited to see him in a Winged Wheel sweater.
Everybody really wants to see what Mo's going to do. Since the moment Steve drafted him, it's like everything that has been thrown Moritz Seider's way, he has responded, and he's responded well. Swedish Defenseman of the Year, the World Championships last year, he was the Defenseman of the Year. He's wise beyond his years. He's really, really competitive, and that's a really, really good choice. But maybe it's me. My expectation level for Mo Seider is so high that I'm not eager to see him. I just expect him to walk out on the ice and be great. And I'm sure that Steve Yzerman is going to kick me in the keister for saying that. And the way the Red Wings have treated their prospects over the years, I don't think that they're not going to give him anything too much too soon, but he appears that he's able to handle everything.
So I want to talk a little bit about position battles here. Who is going to be the top 6 defensemen for the Red Wings coming out of camp?
Well, that's a really tough one because you're absolutely right, Carley. They have on the left side, and I actually wrote this down just so I make sure I remembered. Nick Leddy, Danny DeKeyser, Mark Stahl, and Jordan Osterley from Dearborn Heights. Great, great family. I love those people. And then on the right side is Hronek, Stetcher, Gus Lindstrom, and Mo Seider. The thing that's interesting is the left side, they're all they're 30 years old and plus. Right. Osterley is like 29. They're veterans. And then everybody else on the other side, except for Stetcher, is about 27, 28 right now. They're 23 and younger. Mm-hmm. So you're going to have a nice mentoring ship. I don't know. I think the top 6 is going to be hard because they have legitimately 8 solid defensemen who can play in the NHL. So it's a good problem to have, but I would say that definitely Seider's going to be paired with probably, I would say, Nick Leddy, who I'm really eager to see, Danny DeKeyser and Philip Hronek, and then Stetcher and Stahl were always a good combination, and that would leave Lindstrom and Osterley, but both of those guys have proven that they belong in this league too, so it's going to be a lot of fun to see how it all breaks down, those top 6.
Absolutely. Steve Yzerman always says there are jobs to be had on this Detroit Red Wings team, and we talk about that. I wanted to mention that 4th line center position. So who's someone that you could think would slide right in there and be able to continue that ball rolling on that 4th line?
I guess if I were a betting man, I would have to say that it's going to be Mitchell Stevens as the 4th line center. He made the Lightning coming out of camp last year. I was talking to Jamie Pusher. He was telling me that he really thinks Mitchell's a really, really good player. He got hurt last year, so he didn't play very much for the Lightning, but he did make the team. And that he needs a shot of confidence. I think coming here, winning a job, being reunited with Steve, again, a right-hand shot. I think I can see him being the 4th line center, and I think Mitchell Stevens is going to be a pretty good find.
I do want to talk about the new arrivals we'll be having in this Detroit Red Wings organization. Who do you think will have the biggest impact?
Well, who I'm hoping will have the biggest impact. I think Nick Leddy is a proven pro. He's going to be fine. The power play is going to look considerably better. I'm going to go, again, off the board a little bit. I'm going to say Pius Suter on the ice. Okay. If Pius Suter can fill in that second line center, play along with Robbie Fabry, I think that would be, that would be great. Maybe Tyler Bertuzzi have the Red Wings top line of Larkin, Verana, and Zadina. But I really think, as far as newcomers, I'm looking at Alex Tanguay. Number one, it's going to be weird to see him in a Red Wings garb. I'm considering him to be such an Avalanche. Yeah, but he's going to be assistant coach. He's in charge of the power play. And if Alex Tanguay can turn the power play around, and Nick Leddy's going to help there too, and Verana, and I mean the Red Wings do have some shooters, a healthy Bertuzzi. Right. Let's not forget Robbie Fabry, who I think led the Red Wings in 5-on-5 goals with 10 last year. And he was hurt quite a bit last year. I think that if Tanguay can make that power play competitive, then I'm really eager to see what he does with it. So I'm going to say Alex Tanguay.
I like that one. That's good. That's a good choice because we always look at the players, but you're building from the top down, so you really have to look at the coaches as well. Don't forget the red and white game is Sunday at noon. We will be streaming it, so do not miss out. And thank you so much for joining this training camp preview presented by Huntington Bank. Again, do not miss out on any of the streams we'll be having throughout main camp. You can find that on DetroitRedWings.com and Red Wings social media platforms. Let's go Red Wings!